Well, now an exclusive Fox 5 I-Team investigation. Our I-Team found nearly 1 out of every 4 Atlanta public school buses is broken down. It's sitting in a lot, waiting for weeks or possibly even months for repairs.
Senior I-Team reporter Dale Russell also found the school system failed to perform monthly inspections required by law on more than a quarter of the fleet. What else did you uncover there, Dale?
Russ, this has been an amazing journey here. The numbers that we've seen are staggering. Even the school system's top transportation official calls them unacceptably high. Not only are so many school buses out of commission, we found taxpayers paid an extra $200,000 last year in outside maintenance and tow trucks. On a chilly Monday morning in February, tow truck operators fan out across the city. This is no ordinary tow. Their job: jack up, chain up, and carry away broken down Atlanta school buses. The Fox 5 I-Team is out in force, trying to figure out how many school buses are broken down.
How many buses today? 5. How many?
5. And it didn't stop with 5. All over the city, we saw buses picked up and dropped off at the Atlanta school system's bus barn. We even found this school bus broken down at this school, the 6th one of the morning, and there's still one waiting. And the driver tells us this is routine. Is this unusual?
No, it's not unusual.
Happens all the time?
Quite often.
In fact, our examination of records shows nearly 3 buses every day have to be towed, costing the Atlanta school system more than $65,000 last year.
It's not cheap, but it's work.
You're not real happy with this situation?
Not at all, sir.
A price tag fleet manager John Franklin is well aware of.
If the bus is breaking down the road, students are being affected, and that's not something that any of us in transportation want.
When we checked the fleet records, we found 95 out of the city's 407 buses were in the shop. 23% of the entire fleet out of commission.
That is unacceptably high.
We found many of those buses parked row after row right here, yellow tagged with notices like this one, towed in December, fix as soon as possible. We shot this video in January. Paperwork we examined showed many of these buses sit for months.
We realize that that number far exceeds the expectations of both the transportation department as well as our schools, our parents, and our students.
Franklin hopes the hiring of more mechanics and training for the mechanics on staff, as well as the purchase of new buses, will create a better fleet for students and parents. One early morning with only light from a full moon, we saw firsthand what happens when so many buses are broken down. Drivers have to pick up a second bus route. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. We're expecting the bus in the next few minutes, but what we've been told is the bus driver is doubled up. He's running 2 different routes with 1 bus. This bus arrives about 10 minutes behind schedule as kids and their parents wait, huddled in the cold. The reluctant driver at first denies he's picking up another driver's route, then admits. You running a double route this morning?
10-4, thank you.
No, it's one route, 545.
You're not picking up from 2 different routes?
It is, but it's like really one route. Yeah.
What do you mean it is?
Well, I mean, my other route is so small that I'm able to get both of them on.
It doesn't seem as though they have enough buses to get around.
But I don't know who's responsible. I don't know.
Parents at other routes that have been doubled up are not happy, including Ray Burgess, a former teacher from Maryland.
For a school system as large as Atlanta Public Schools, they've got to do better. I mean, we talk about safety being the #1 concern, getting kids to school and getting kids home safely.
And the state requires monthly inspections of all school buses to make sure they're safe. But our investigation found the city is so far behind that 105 school buses were not inspected in January. Is it a safety issue?
No, it's not a safety issue. It's you know,
brakes are one of the things on that inspection, isn't it?
Correct.
Those monthly inspections show a shopping list of problems, ranging from bad brakes to bad tires to warning lights that don't work. In fact, these two buses were both inspected on February 4th, written up for front and rear brake issues. But on February 9th, we found them back on the streets hauling children. The school system admits the brakes had not been replaced.
My singular focus right now is to make sure that, number one, we get those buses inspected, sort of compel our parents to feel confident again.
John Franklin says his drivers do pre- and post-trip inspections to check for unsafe conditions. His maintenance crew has worked overtime, and he's considering bringing in outside mechanics to get all those inspections done by this week.
No one's shying away from the situation. We're running to it. We want to fix it.
Now, an APS spokesperson told us as of last Friday, 50 buses needed brake jobs, and since that time, 25 of them have been repaired, including those two buses highlighted in our story. Transportation officials also say they're now up to date on those January inspections and are on track to get all the buses inspected for this month, Russ, Sine, in February.
So do they have enough people to do this job? Because parents want their kids' buses to have good brakes.
I think you could argue easily that they need more mechanics. They have to go outside to get a lot of the work done. It's costly when you go outside. It's costly when you add people.
Right.
John Franklin knows there's a problem, and there's no doubt in my mind he's working hard to get this fixed. We'll just have to wait and see how it unfolds.
Yeah. All right. We know you'll keep us posted, Dale. Thank you.
Thanks, Dale.